Another fusion event, another summon rush. Can I get a legendary in today's video? Well, join me for today's video and let's find out. Let's do this! Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hollywood here with a Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you've had a great week and I hope your weekend is off to a great start. For this weekend right now we have a Granyt Doorkeep Summon Rush. As you can see here, I'm about nearly halfway through this event. I have 6 of the events completed and I have 6 of the rares. On today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the Summon Rush event. There's been some mixed reaction to this Summon Rush event. Some people have seen this Summon Rush and said to themselves, I think I'm out. Let's take a look at this Summon Rush here in the events. So if we go over to our Summon Rush area here, we can see this is a rather resource expensive event. It's going to be a little tough on our resources. The rare is 3,500 points and the epic is 6,100 points. So if we're going to be getting those points via shards, and a lot of people are talking about using sacred shards as the most optimal way to do this event, you're looking at about 12 and a bit sacred shards. Because of some possible rumored upcoming events for the Ninja Turtles in October, I'm going to be trying to save most of my sacred shards and most of my primal shards. I'm going to try this event doing it a different way. I'm going to pull 2 sacred shards, 2 primal shards, 30 void shards, and 30 ancient shards. And that should get me just over the 6,100 mark here that I need for the epic. And what that will do is that will allow me to take 4 of these events out of the 8 and skip any 4 that I want. So it'll make this event much easier to finish off, because after I get that epic, I'll only need to do 4 of the 8 events. So it'll be much easier. Alright, so let's go to our summoning portal here and start ripping a few shards and see what we can get. So we're going to start off with a couple of sacred shards here. I've got Admiral Blacktusk here as the targeted legendary. And this guy here, Duodan the Runic, as the targeted epic. I don't have either one of them, so let's see what happens here. Alright, we got Melga Steel Girdle. I think I have her fully empowered now. She's actually quite a good epic healer dwarf. So if you're looking for a dwarf healer, Melga is a pretty good epic for you. Go for another one here. Another purple. And we got Vildrax, who is a pretty ugly looking epic from the demon spawn. Okay, so I've got 57 primal shards. The main thing I'm saving these for is if we have a Hero's Path event, these primal shards are typically a good value per shard to use in those events. So that's going to be the main resource I'm going to be using in a Hero's Path event if we do have one here in October. So I'll open up a couple of those. Got a rare Sanctum Protector. Open up one more. Brings me to 55. And another rare. So we got Steel Boyer. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to open up 30 Ancients and then 30 Voids. And one of the reasons that this is good to open up the Void Shards and the Ancient Shards for this event is that we have the potential to actually get a couple of the Fusion Epics and Rares out of this by doing this. So that could actually save us a couple of events if we end up getting lucky and pulling one of those Fusion Epics or Rares. Might as well just make it even here and open up 2 Ancient Shards, and then we'll do 3 10 pops. We got Beast Wrestler. Open up one more. Berserker from the Barbarian faction. Okay, so I'm going to try and do 3 10 pops here, and we'll see what we get. Well, these are coming out pretty quick. Okay, we'll do another 10 here. Nothing really fantastic in this. I'm not within 30 on my Mercy, so the odds of getting a legendary are lower. Do one more here. Coming up pretty quick here. Soul Drinker, and that was pretty uneventful there, so nothing major in that one there except for some points. So what we'll do here is we will pull 30 of our Void Shards. Shu Zhen is my targeted champion here. See if we can get Shu Zhen. She is one of the best speed champs in the game. Great for arena. And also Inquisitor Shamail, which I don't have either. He would be a great epic to get. So we'll pull 30 here and see what happens. Oh, we got Shamail right off the bat. Pretty good. I don't have him, so that's new. Fantastic. Another Cold Heart. Okay, we'll do 10 more. Another Cold Heart. And we got Arbalester. She is, and Justicar, they are fusion rares. Pull 10 more and see what happens. Ooh, we got a legendary. Torgon the Conjoined. This is pretty interesting. So we'll see what this guy is here. I wasn't expecting that at all. Okay, so we'll take a look at this guy here. Torgon the Conjoined. He is for the Ogren tribes, which is good because I only have one legendary Ogren, so this will help in my faction wars. He's a pretty ugly looking dude. Let's see what this guy does. He is a support. Mash and Mangle. Attacks one enemy. Has a 20% chance of applying a buff spread effect. Pretty cool. Taking one random buff from each ally and placing it on all allies. Not bad. Heals all allies by 20% of this champion's max HP. So we got a healer here. Places 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also places a 15% continuous heal buff for 2 turns on all allies whose current HP is below 50% after the initial heal. So that's not too bad. 5 turn cooldown, books to 3 turn cooldown. Brother's Generosity. He's got 2 heads, so that'll help. Increases the turn meters of all allies by 20% and places a 50% increased accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns. Then removes all debuffs from all allies. So we got a cleanse there too. This guy's got a pretty good kit. What's his passive? Fill your bellies. Increases this champion's max HP by 10% every time they use an active skill. Stacks up to 50%. Resets each round. Also increases each ally's max HP by 5% every time they use an active skill. Stacks up to 50%. Resets each round. Will not increase the max HP of bosses. And this guy has a increases ally speed aura in all battles by 20%. So that's not too bad. Alright, that guy's going to be an interesting champion to build out. That's a bonus because I wasn't expecting a legendary out of that. That'll reset my mercy. I was sitting pretty high. I was at 140, so that got me a legendary after 170 void pulls. Alright, good stuff. So let's go over to the events here and look at our Summon Rush and see what we got here. We ended up just shy of this legendary skill tome here, so I'll probably make that up with some mystery shards later and maybe a couple of these other things. We'll see what we can get here in the next, what is this, 1 day here. So we'll see what we can do tomorrow with some mystery shards and maybe a couple other shards. Now that we have our epic, we can skip 4 of the upcoming 8 events, and that will make the fusion event much easier. Alright, so that's everything for today's Summon Rush video. As you can see from the new updated image, I now have 7 of the rares, and I have 1 of the epics. So all I have left to do for the fusion now is to get 5 more rares. For next week, out of the 8 events, I can do 4 of the events, and that will make this fusion much easier. So we got a bonus today, which is fun. It's always nice to get a bonus when you know you're not near your mercy, so that was nice. So for today's shoutouts, I'm going to shout out 3 different content creators. A couple that were very helpful to me starting out. Boylon, who did his own Summon Rush video earlier today, and Valley Flyin', which I haven't seen a Summon Rush video for yet. Both of them were helpful to me when I was asking questions on how to start out with this content creation. Thank you very much for the support. Also, I want to shout out MTG Jedi, who stopped by my April video, just popping by to check in. Want to say thank you for the support, MTG Jedi, and fan of your videos. I like watching your videos also. Thank you all for your support. And to all the people watching, thank you for your support. And if you like this content and if you've got something out of this video, feel free to do a like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and it'll help me bring you more videos in the future, and it'll help me be able to do something like this more full-time. So thank you for stopping by the video today. I hope everyone has a fantastic, great week ahead. I wish you all the best and all luck in this event and in everything you do during the week. Wishing you all a wonderful week ahead. And until next time, peace.